You know, when we talk about malaria, it's not just one single disease. It's really a whole family of killers. And today, we're going to unmask the deadliest one of them all, the microscopic parasite that's responsible for the vast majority of malaria deaths all around the world.
So, you have to ask, what makes this one tiny organism one of the planet's most effective assassins? How in the world does it outwit a human body that's literally billions of times its size? Let's peel back the layers on this incredible biological thriller.
All right, here's our game plan. First, we're going to identify our villain. Then we'll track its invasion path, we'll expose its secret weapon, witness the absolute devastation it leaves behind, and finally, we'll see how we fight back.
Okay, let's dive right in. Time to meet our antagonist, Plasmodium falciparum. Look, if the world of malaria parasites was some kind of criminal underworld, this one would be the undisputed kingpin. Out of the 5 species that infect us humans, Falciparum is by far the most dangerous and the most common. This parasite causes a particularly vicious form of the disease, and it's known for its signature move, a precisely timed assault. Every 48 hours, like clockwork, it unleashes a brand new wave of destruction inside your bloodstream, sending the body into this violent, feverish spiral.
So how does this killer even get inside us? Well, its strategy is this ingenious, 2-part invasion plan that turns both humans and insects into unwitting accomplices in its life of crime.
The whole invasion kicks off with just a single mosquito bite. That's when these microscopic assassins called sporozoites get injected. From there, it's a total stealth operation. They race to the liver to multiply in secret, then they burst out into the bloodstream, turning our own red blood cells into factories for their growing army. And this two-way street is the absolute key to its global dominance. Sporozoites, those are the weapon it uses to invade us. But to conquer new territory, it needs an escape plan. So it creates gametocytes, a totally different form that can infect the next mosquito that bites. It's a perfectly evolved, vicious cycle of transmission. But, you know, a lot of parasites have a similar life cycle. So what makes Falciparum so much more destructive than its relatives? Well, the answer lies in its secret weapon. A strategy so cunning, it actually turns our own circulatory system against us.
It's called sequestration, and it is terrifyingly effective. See, instead of risking a fight with the body's defenses, the parasite forces the red blood cells it is infected to hide, literally clogging up the tiny blood vessels in our most vital organs. We're talking the brain, the lungs, the kidneys.
Think of it this way. The spleen is your body's highly efficient security checkpoint. It's constantly scanning for and destroying any old or faulty red blood cells. Any other malaria parasite risks getting caught and wiped out right there. But Falciparum, it doesn't even try to fight the guards. It avoids the checkpoint entirely by hiding where our defenses just can't reach. This quote from the source material absolutely nails it. The parasite turns our red blood cells into a criminal gang that takes our vital organs hostage. By barricading themselves inside these essential buildings, they not only escape the police, that's the spleen, but they also create a deadly traffic jam, starving our organs of precious oxygen and nutrients. So how do they actually build these roadblocks? It all comes down to a special protein that acts like biological Velcro, making the infected cells incredibly sticky. This is called cytoadherence. These sticky cells then start grabbing onto healthy ones, forming these massive clumps called rosettes. The result? A complete blockage in our tiniest blood vessels, cutting off life itself. And this is where it gets truly brilliant. That Velcro protein that causes all the stickiness, it's also a master of disguise. The parasite has a whole wardrobe of them. Just when our immune system finally learns to recognize one version, boom, the parasite switches to a completely new one. It's like a spy with an endless supply of masks, always one step ahead. So, what's the end game of this deadly hiding strategy? The collateral damage is catastrophic, and it leads directly to the most severe, life-threatening forms of the disease. This is where the parasite's genius for survival becomes a full-blown assault on the body. The very act of sequestration, of creating those life-threatening blockages, it triggers this horrifying cascade of organ failure. The results are just devastating. In the brain, these blockages cause cerebral malaria, which can lead to seizures and coma. In the kidneys, they cause total failure.
The parasite can even trigger a condition where so many red blood cells are destroyed that the urine literally turns black. And when it strikes the lungs, it causes fluid buildup with a mortality rate of over 80%. This isn't just an infection, it's a systemic siege.
But this is not a one-sided fight. For every cunning strategy the parasite has, we have developed a countermeasure. We have an arsenal of our own. So let's take a look at how we're fighting back against this relentless enemy.
To fight an enemy that hides this well, you first have to find it. Our detectives kit has a few key tools. The classic blood smear, that's our crime scene investigator with a magnifying glass spotting the culprit directly. For fast intel out in the field, rapid diagnostic tests give us an answer in minutes. And for the most elusive cases, PCR is our DNA lab, analyzing the genetic fingerprint and leaving the parasite with absolutely nowhere to hide. Our primary weapon against a confirmed infection is a powerful 1-2 punch called artemisinin combination therapy. Think of it like a shock and awe campaign. A fast-acting drug rapidly wipes out the bulk of the parasite army. Then, a slower-acting partner moves in to eliminate any survivors, making sure none are left to develop resistance and fight another day. And how we deploy this weapon depends on the severity of the attack. For a standard infection, it's a 3-day course of pills, a decisive battle fought at home. But when the parasite lays siege to the vital organs, that's a code red medical emergency. It's a race against the clock in a hospital, with intravenous drugs as our last, most powerful line of defense.
But make no mistake, this enemy is constantly adapting. It's already evolved resistance to many of our older weapons, which is precisely why using just a single drug is now forbidden. We have to fight with combinations because we are locked in a permanent evolutionary arms race, and we absolutely have to stay one step ahead.
So we're left with a pretty sobering reality. We are fighting an ancient biological assassin, a master of evasion that is constantly rewriting its own playbook just to survive. The ultimate question isn't just what it will do next, but can our science, our ingenuity, evolve faster than this killer?